Hello and welcome to the Abundantly Successful Show, the show for conscious entrepreneurs who have the deep desire to turn their passion into successful and thriving business, all while making a big impact in the world. I'm your host, Keith Sanders, also known as the creator of possibilities. And I'm super excited for you to tune in again in the second solo episode of the Abundantly Successful Show. Now, today I would like to talk to you about a very, very important topic, which is the power to shift your thinking. And you might wonder, why does it really matter? Why do you, what I think? And the thing is, when it comes to the success we want to create in our business, the things we want to achieve in our life, even the goals we want to achieve, if we have a really negative mindset, if we think very negatively, or we have doubt that it's actually possible for us, it can really keep us and stop us in our tracks. That's like our limiting beliefs. They come up. The inner gremlins, like I like to call them, they like to sabotage our success. And usually that comes from what we think. And the thing is, we always have the power to change how we think, to change how we perceive certain things. So if you have a goal you want to achieve, and you really tune into that goal, and you pay attention to what comes up. Do you really think you can do it, or do you have doubt that it's really possible? So it is really, really important of how we think, because if we don't think in alignment with the things we want to accomplish and the things we want to achieve, then we're really not going to achieve those things, because simply we don't believe we can, or our thinking is really stopping us in the tracks. Now, you might wonder, how does it really affect our success, like even getting clients, or even how much you want to earn? So if you think about it, let's say you're sitting in front of a potential client, or even on the phone, and you're talking to that potential client, and deep down you're thinking, I don't think they can afford me. They're probably not going to want to work with me. I don't even know if I can help them. I'm not good enough. All these things, they might come up when you have a conversation with someone, and then guess what's going to happen? Energetically, you're going to push them away, because you don't believe that you can actually help them, that you can, inspire them to work with you. So it's the same with money. If you don't really think that you can make 6-7 figures a year, or even just a 5-figure month, if you don't think that, if you don't believe that, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to actually achieve that. So you're going to be doing all the right things, but if you don't really believe that it's possible, it's really going to stop you. You're not going to be able to achieve that. Maybe getting close, but it's going to be very, very difficult. And now, I don't know if you've been following me for a little while, you've probably heard me talk about this before. When I first started out, I did all the right things to grow my business, to get out there, to get known. I've done system strategies, written a book. You name it. I've done a lot of those things, but it was really like pulling teeth. I didn't get enough clients. I didn't make enough money. And my coach at that time was telling me that it's not about the doing, it's really about who you need to become. And initially, I really thought that he didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't really believe him at first, until it really sunk in. And then I sat there and I realized, he was right. Because anytime when I was talking to a potential client, I was questioning my own ability. Can I really help this person? Am I really good enough? I haven't had a whole lot of success stories, so how can I really help this person? So it was really my thinking that was sabotaging me from getting the clients that I wanted to get, from really attracting the right kind of clients. For a very long time, I was getting those people that came to me that only wanted to work with me, but they wanted to work with me, but they didn't want to pay. So they valued me enough to be mentored by me, but they didn't value me enough to work with me. But it was really just a mirror reflection for me. Where did I not value myself? And it was going back to my thinking. I didn't think I was good enough to work with these people. So as you can see, if you don't think properly, if your thinking is not in alignment with what you want to become, who you want to become, what you want to create for yourself, it's going to be very, very difficult to really create that. So your thinking is really, really difficult. Now, you might wonder, how can you really shift your thinking around? And the first thing is really, you need to notice when you think negatively. And that is really the most challenging part, because we are often autopilot. So we just go about our day, and then in the back of our mind, we have that little voice that keeps talking, that keeps nagging, and we oftentimes don't realize that. And I know for me, it was like, I always ask, like, how can I really shift my thinking around? I don't even know when I'm thinking negatively. So it's really, you want to make the conscious decision to pay attention. One of the great things that you can do is have a negativity journal. You know, really write down each and every day, like have it like maybe next to you, or when you go somewhere, or have it on your phone, somewhere where you can really, you notice whenever you think negatively, whenever you feel negatively, and then really evaluate that. Where is that coming from? What's going on here? Why do I feel this way? Why do I think this way? And the more you consciously pay attention to what you think throughout the day, you know, for example, money. I mean, that's usually the biggest challenge most people have about that, is they're in that lack mindset. I don't have enough clients. Making money is hard. I can't get no clients. And that was really the one things that I was focusing so much on, was like, making money is hard. The clients, they don't want to work with me. No one is out there. No one wants to work with me. Getting clients is very difficult. So that was my programming. And you want to really notice that, because once you notice that, you can shift your thinking around. But it really starts with, you have to pay attention to your thinking. And it's not just what you're thinking in the conscious mind, but also subconsciously, what's going on in the background. And oftentimes we don't really realize how much crap, sorry my language, but how much crap we tell ourselves. The things that we're thinking, the things that we're saying to ourselves, about ourselves. And even if you want to start a project, notice what comes up. And oftentimes it really relates to what happened to us in the past. Have you ever done a project and it didn't really get you the results that you want? It was somewhat of a big flop. Or you just barely got very little results from that. And then when you're trying to redo the same project or a similar project, notice what comes up. Do you think, oh yeah, this is going to be amazing, I'm going to get so many results, I'm going to get it exactly the way you want it? Or are you like, well, it didn't really work out the last time, so I hope it's going to get better this time, but I'm not going to set my expectations too high. Think about, what do you really think about when you're trying to do something, even if you're trying to create, let's say, videos, for example, or a new lead magnet, or a program, whatever it is that you want to create. Pay attention to what you're thinking. Are you thinking abundantly that, oh my God, people are going to love what I'm putting out there, this is going to be such a huge success? Or do you really question, is it really going to be successful? Are people actually going to like it? Really pay attention to that, and really make note of that. And then some of the things that you can do to really shift your thinking around. I mean, I'm going to share some really powerful techniques with you that you can use. So like I mentioned, start out with a negativity journal and really write down everything that comes up throughout the day. I've done that for like a couple of days, because oftentimes like I said, we don't really realize how negative our mindset really is, how bad our thinking really is. And I mean, if we would really be consciously aware of all the stuff that we're saying to ourselves all day long, we might not really be liking ourselves that much no more, right? Because oftentimes it's really negative. So if you write that negativity journal, just do it for like 3 days or maybe a week, but then each evening, because you don't just want to dwell on the negativity. So when you have your journal, like each evening, I highly recommend whatever you've written down throughout the day, revisit that in the evening, and then ask yourself, what's the higher truth here? I mean, is it really true? For example, going back to the example, like getting clients is hard. So if you're throughout the day saying, oh my God, getting clients is so hard, making money is so hard, then ask yourself, is that really true? Is it really true that there are no clients out there that want to work with you? Probably not. Maybe you just haven't attracted them. Maybe you just haven't found them yet. Maybe you need to shift your messaging around. Maybe you have to just shift your vibration, your thinking around. But what is the higher truth here? If you think about it, there are billions of people in this world, right? There has to be a few, at least just a handful to get started with, that need exactly what you have to offer. So, think of it as that, like you have this negative phrase, and then rephrase it into the positive, like a gratitude affirmations, and I'm really seeing what is really the higher truth here. Because it is not true that making money is hard, because there are unlimited opportunities out there where you can make money. Maybe not a whole lot of money right away, but there are opportunities out there where you can make at least a little bit of money. You want to really get into the habit of getting that flow going, and then you will see, you know what, making money is not hard, but just shifting your mindset around just about that. Using that phrase, making money is easy, instead of saying making money is hard. That will shift a whole lot for you already. If you keep repeating that, whenever you feel like when you're getting into a lack mentality, making money is hard, there are no clients out there, shift your thinking around. Making money is easy. The right clients, they're already there. They're already here. They're just waiting to work with me. So they're ready to work with me. Really shift your thinking around. But, gratitude is really a powerful way to shift your thinking around, also to shift your vibration, to shift how you feel about something. So if you're sitting here and saying, oh, I don't have no clients, making money is hard, but if you then shift it around into a gratitude affirmation, like, I'm so happy and grateful now that clients come to me easily and effortlessly, and that money flows to me in increasing amounts month in and month out, and I'm so grateful and excited that it feels light, joyful, and easier than I could have hoped for. You notice the difference when you say making money is hard, but then I'm so grateful that making money is easy. When you shift your thinking around like that, of course, it's not going to happen overnight. This is something you have to get into the practice of doing this every single day. Every time you notice that you're going down the lack side, the negativity side, you have the choice to shift your thinking around, because all it takes is just a little shift. Paying attention to what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and then saying, oh, no, I'm not going down that route. This is not how I think no more. This is not how I feel no more. This is not how I choose to move forward. And then you can choose to think differently. Look at it like, what's the higher truth here? There are plenty of people out there. There's plenty of money everywhere. Maybe I just haven't, thought of different opportunities or different ways to make money. So there's always the higher truth there. Now, what you also can do is EFT. It's called it's emotional freedom technique, where you tap out the negative and then tap in the good. So EFT is a very, very powerful technique that you can use to really reprogram your mind, because you really need to get rid of the lack thinking, because that's really going to stop you in your tracks. If you focus so much on lack and the limitations and not being very prosperous on your thinking, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to really get out there and get the clients that you're meant to work with, to make the money that you're meant to make and that you want to make, and really create the abundant life that you deserve, that is already there for you. So really you want to shift your thinking around. So, EFT is really a great way. Also, letting go of the past, like I mentioned earlier. So if you've had an example, if you've had a project that didn't really go so well in the past, it is very easy to keep going back there. But if you think about it, you're not the same person as you were back then, right? Because you've learned what could you do better. So I like to look at, whenever I do something and it didn't really work out as well, I look at, okay, well, what didn't go so well? What can I improve? But then I also acknowledge what did go very well. Like, for example, I had done a summit in the past where I thought, okay, I wanted to have a number of subscribers, which I didn't reach. But I didn't really focus on that. I didn't dwell on that, because I focused on, well, I met a whole lot of amazing people that I can then move forward with and do other collaborative projects with. So you really want to stay more on the positive side, because everything, is happening for you. Where you can learn different things from that, where you can maybe readjust. And if you think about all these successful entrepreneurs, they didn't succeed right the first time. They've gotten knocked down many, many times. But their mindset was so strong. They were working on their mindset so much that it helped them move forward. Really looking at everything like, okay, what can I learn from this? And how can I use this to move forward? But like I said, it is really so important that you shift your thinking around. And anytime when you notice, when you're sitting in front of your computer, when you're talking to a potential client, whatever it is that you're doing to grow your business, even if it's something that you would like to start, but you not really know if you're really good enough, stop yourself in the tracks. Really pay attention to when all that limiting stuff comes up, and notice, like, is that really true? Am I really not good enough? Should I really not do this? And then you have the choice to shift your thinking around. You can think differently if you so choose. So then instead of saying, oh, I'm not good enough, you can say, you know what, I'm good enough to get started. And then I can get better. Like, for example, with videos, if I think back to my very first videos, oh my God, let me tell you, they were horrible. But I didn't give up because I know I want to get my message out there in a much, much broader scale. And yes, can I improve on my speaking? Of course. Can I improve on my presentation style? Of course. But guess what? I'm not going to let that stop me from sharing my message, from sharing what I know, what I have learned. Because my motto is, if I can just impact one person each day, that's my goal for the day. That is very important to me. That's what makes my day. If I could just impact one person. So if you're listening and if my message impacts you, you know what? Then I reached my goal with this, so I'm going to move forward. But don't let that stop you. Don't let any self-doubt, limiting beliefs, fears really stop you from moving forward, because you do have a choice. You do have a choice to think differently. And you know, I actually have a little paper here right next to my computer that says, I have a choice to think different thoughts. Because it can happen throughout the day when you do something and all of a sudden your mind goes a completely different direction. And then you're like, oh my God, this is not where I want to go. And you just want to remind yourself that you do have a choice to think different thoughts. And one of the things I like to do is, you know, what I mentioned earlier, seeing the higher truth. Because oftentimes the things that we say, the things that we experience, what we think we experience, they're just illusions. That's our ego mind trying to keep us safe, because the unknown is scary. I mean, who's not afraid of the unknown, right? And our ego mind is trying to stop us. So if you want to really get out there, become successful, let's say, go do videos, for example. You know, you're going to be out there. You're going to be known. You're going to be seen. People might judge you. People might, you know, do the unlike button, that they don't like your video, or they might make a bad comment. But guess what? It doesn't matter. All it matters is that you step into your power to go out there, do what you're passionate about, and really embody what you're meant to do. I mean, you're here, you became an entrepreneur for a reason, right? You want to change the world. You want to make an impact. You want to help other people. So why would you allow your ego mind to stop you from doing what you're so passionate about, what you're meant to do, what you deserve to do? So really allow yourself to pay attention to what you're thinking. And when you notice that your thinking is going the whole wrong route, the wrong direction, you have a choice. You always have a choice to think different thoughts. So that's really what I want to leave you with, is you always can choose to think different thoughts. Okay? Now, I hope this was helpful. I mean, if you like what I just shared, if you would like to, make a comment below this video. And, if you like it, share it. Also make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notified whenever I release the next episodes. Tomorrow will be with another interview style episode, so you don't want to miss it. It's going to be an amazing topic, and I'm not going to share anything yet because it's going to be a surprise. But, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also go to abundantly-successful.com to get all of the other episodes, to get the notes, the show notes, any links, anything like that. So, just make sure to check it out. And like I said, share it, like it, comment below. I would definitely appreciate if you would like me to do another topic about something else. Feel free to let me know. I would love to do that. Now, I want to thank you for tuning in. And I really, appreciate you taking your time to listen to me. And I hope this was helpful. And, I can't wait to see you in the next episode, which will be released tomorrow with the interview style. And next week, next Tuesday, will be another solo episode where I share some other golden nuggets. Now, with that said, I hope you have an abundantly successful day, and I'll see you in the next episode.